Hello and welcome back to my channel. So, today I have for you hopefully something interesting and inspiring. A lot of times, what happens is we go through as crafters a phase where we feel demotivated or frustrated with what we are doing or what we are not able to do, perhaps. We could just maybe make a mistake while creating a journal and not get things right and maybe mess up a technique, or it could be anything, and we could just not feel the motivation to go through and just go forward in our crafting. So at these times, what I think is it's necessary to just step back and look at the whole thing differently. And I wanted to share with you how I go about this phase whenever I feel down, and how I look at it. So if you see here, you see this box with all things that are red in the middle. Now, according to me, and I consider these things as the core of any journal, junk journal, or just any journal. Like, you can't get these wrong, and you can't make a mistake, and of course you'll need a lot of practice and a lot of mistakes till you get the thing right and you're doing it correctly and you're satisfied with what you're doing. So, like, making the cover, should the cover be a soft cover, should it be a hard cover, should it be something that has a spine but it's not so hard like a chipboard, maybe using cereal boxes, what height, what length, and how do I decorate it, and how wide should the spine be. And there are just so many things that one needs to get right while making the cover. And of course, then the closure. How do I close my journal? Do I make use of a ribbon? Do I add a button? Do I use a magnet? And there's just so many things. And a closure is like something that ties everything together, and you'd want to get it right, and right at the beginning as well. And then coming to signatures, you have like things, how many papers do I need, how many folds, and what size, and what all do I include in the signature, what kind of pages, and just there are just so many things while making a journal that one can really tie themselves up thinking about, and how much and how not to do it. And then there comes the part of sewing in the signatures, and I think it's happened with almost all of us, right? Just when we are beginning, when we sew in a signature and it kind of doesn't stay in place, or it's wonky, or it kind of moves around and it's not tight enough. That happens. And I believe anything that requires a little bit of technique and something that you have to get right will actually give us stress. So I believe when you are actually feeling demotivated already, you should avoid doing any of these. This core things, they form the actual structure of a journal. And when you don't involve yourself in something that essential for a journal, then you'll probably keep yourself away from stress. So you don't want any stress when you're actually feeling down already. So it's better to just leave these things when you are not, when you're not confident, or when you're feeling frustrated or anything. Instead, you could do just you know all the rest of this, like making just simple tags or journaling cards, or pockets and tucks, or maybe simply cutting out words from magazines and books, and old books and stuff like that, and just making belly bands for your tags and letters or something, making bookmarks. Or if you're not cutting out words, maybe you could just write your own words and sentiments out, and then maybe making charms and tassels, or just making flowers that you can use for decoration, or maybe even pressing fresh flowers and leaves so that you can dry and use them later. all the things in green, I believe you can easily do with no stress, and it will actually help you to to de-stress and to bring back the motivation and to get yourself back into the groove. And then I've just written down things that maybe you could do with um, a slight bit of technique, like maybe creating small notepads and tying up small booklets and things like that, or maybe using fabric to make flowers or stuff like that. So if you see, I've hid a part of the paper here, and that's because I'm talking about masterboards. And I believe leaving the fabric flowers, or the pressing of fresh flowers and that out, you could essentially do all of this, of course without the charms. You could do essentially all of this with just the masterboards. And there are like a million ways that one can make a masterboard, and there are just so many videos up on YouTube where you can look up how to make a masterboard and what is a masterboard. But I believe, it's masterboards are essentially about just relaxing and just doing something that is simple, easy, and just no stress at all. And there are so many different ways that you can create a masterboard. And I just thought we will make a few masterboards together, and I plan to bring to you a different variety, a different kind of masterboard in each of my future videos. For this particular video, I thought we'd just use paint and not use anything else to make our masterboards. And I have here an A4 size cardstock that we are going to use as our base. Now, before we begin, I'll just like to say, for someone who's just beginning and doesn't know what a masterboard is, a masterboard is just something like a base, or a big area or a surface that you can work on, that later on gives you something to work with, that you can maybe cut up and use as something else in a journal. Like you can use the whole masterboard as your cover, or you can cut it up and make tags and pockets and stuff like that out of the masterboard. So just as examples, I made a few of these earlier on, and to create the masterboard I simply used some paint. So you can see I just made use of some green, yellow and pink watercolors, and then I just cut up the sheet the same size, and I just made these. Now this is like simply a fold out. You can just add this to your journal. This is a double tag with a cord, some lace, a butterfly, the word appreciate, and of course this tag was a little longish. So what I did was I just turned it over and just glued these two sides, so it is actually a pocket. Then I just made these two pieces with a notch that you can just glue the three sides and put it down, and it will become a pocket for you. And then this another one, another pocket. So all this I made using just a simple masterboard that I did with only using paints. Now this is just one way, and it's like the simplest of ways of making a masterboard, and you can just experiment and do whatever with the basic idea, but I'm just sharing what the most basics of it, of making a masterboard with paints is all about, and you can just really take it anywhere, the whole idea. So before we begin making our masterboard, I'll just like to lay this plastic sheet down just to protect my work surface. Okay, and I just have some basic watercolors here and a simple brush. Now even if you don't know how to paint, this is very simple, and you can just use paints to make splashes around on the page. So the word paint need not really make us nervous or anything. So you just load up your brush and simply splash the paint onto the cardstock, and you can use just anything for your masterboard. It need not be a cardstock of this kind. You can use large magazine pages, you can use any colored cardstock, you can use a white, if you've painted a cereal box white, or you can just do anything. Just use anything that you have at hand. Of course, the most common kind of masterboards is the collage kind, and there are a lot of videos on YouTube already about that, and I'm not doing that because I just wanted to bring to you something that was very simple and also relaxing at the same time. Now I have just splashed a bit of brown on the whole page, and maybe we can pick another color. What color? How about a bit of orange maybe? You can use any kind of paints, like you can make use of watercolors or acrylic paints or poster colors, or maybe even nail paint. And it's just about getting some color onto the page and just having fun while you do it. You can of course use a bigger brush. I'm just using a smaller one because I don't want to splash the paint all around, and I just wanted small dots, and I thought this just did that nicely. See how beautiful that is. You can of course add as many colors as you'd like. You can Now this was just brown and orange. The brown is not looking like brown, but it is brown. What shall we do? Should we add another color? Maybe a bit of green. You can even, just maybe glue down some book pages or music sheet and then splash colors, and even that would be beautiful. Maybe if you don't want to splash paint, you could just do some simple strokes, and just no need for any direction or just anything. It could just be some random strokes, however you want, and it would look messy, and you'd not understand where the thing is going, but I'm sure it will look beautiful once it's all done and when it's all complete. So there you go. We have added 3 colors now: brown, orange and green, and I like how this looks. So let's just put this aside to dry. Now what I did is I just readied some pieces from an earlier masterboard that I did. Now for this one I used just red and purple, and I just cut them out, and this is just a fold out. Then I have these 2 pieces that I plan on making tags out of. Then another largish pocket, and this another piece that you can see I have just rounded on one edge, that I think it would be nice as a tuck spot on a page, that you can tuck something behind. So I thought we can maybe decorate these while that masterboard dries. So first thing, we'll just cut these into tag shapes. I'll just use this other piece so I get symmetrical cuts on both the sides. There you go. Okay. Fine. I've rounded the edges beforehand, just so we can save some time. Now what can we do next? I think we'll just ink the edges. These areas like right at the edge of the masterboard that maybe we didn't get some color on, when we ink it, it's not going to look so bland and so plain. now we have inked all of the edges, and let's think about decorating these. So I have with me a few word cutouts from magazines and books. Maybe we could use those, or I have a few stickers. Maybe we could do something like that. So let's just see. So let's do this one first. So maybe we could make use of some washi tape first. Okay. I really like how this looks. Let's just quickly ink it. There you go. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Let's just glue that down. So that's done. For these tag shapes, let's just first punch a hole. And how about this one? Or this rose. I like this one better, so we'll go with this. Let's just quickly ink this up and glue it down. And I need something at the bottom. How about some lace? I like that. So let's just glue that down. The glue is showing through now, but when it dries, it'll be fine. Of course, we need something for the top. Let's just fix our eyelet first. Maybe we can use this cord here. So that's there. And then for this one, how about this rose? Maybe we can add some washi tape. Let's just press in the eyelet. this one. How about we add this word spellbinding, and what is it that is spellbinding? This flower, maybe. All right, we'll go ahead and ink this. We'll just glue that down. And we'll just glue this down. It's really nice to add some word or sentiment to your piece. It just gives it that much more meaning and just makes it special. Spellbinding. All right, coming to this huge pocket, how about if we added this little tag shape up here? So let's just secure it with an eyelet. There are just so many things that you can do with masterboards, and it's not necessary that you cut them up and just make tags and pockets. You can make notepads and small booklets, and you can just use the whole masterboard as a cover for your journal. Maybe add it, or maybe you can laminate it and add it as a writing board to accompany your journal. And just there are just so many other things that you can think of. And what more do I want to do? Do I want to add this? Maybe like that. Or do I want to use a lace again? Let me just get some lace. So I have this piece of lace. Maybe we can add that, and then glue the little birdhouse on the top. So let's just lay this down. If it's just cheap watercolor that you're using, you run the chance of the color spreading and maybe inking your fingers and stuff like that. So you can by all means just go ahead and maybe put a coat of Mod Podge on it, or maybe some kind of sealant. Let's just quickly ink this up and add the little birdhouse. Like that. Maybe we can have this little piece. It says magical moments. Let's just quickly ink it. Oops. And glue this down. You can of course collage it more and maybe add a little background of a book page and some other colored sheet, or just make it more interesting, but I've just tried to keep it simple for the sake of this video. But here are the things we made. Let's just take a look at them. This is our pocket, then the little fold out, then our two tags, and our little tuck spot. This is now dried up and I really like the way it looks. You can of course now cut it up and use it however you like. Okay, so this is what we did today, and I hope you found it inspiring and motivating in some way, and I hope I've given you ideas to do something on your own, and I hope to see you again soon in another video. Till then, take care, bye. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and consider taking part in my giveaway. For more information, please head on to my Instagram page, that is Insta Paper Tuna. Till then, take care, bye.